Episode 1. This is a pilot, nigga. This is just a rough draft. Launching the thoughts, nigga. We throwing spaghetti against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, give us a formal introduction, bro.
Shadow and L. We're gonna be discussing, I guess, pop culture. It could be anime, video games, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be anime, but pop culture related. So we're going to start with, I guess, with what's popular, and then we're gonna move on to doing whatever else. But we're gonna start with what got us into anime to begin with, and I guess move on from there before we start covering newer stuff. I'm gonna start with what we know.
For sure, man. That's the best way to go, bro. So, getting into anime, let's take it all the way back. I'm talking before we knew about Crunchyroll, before Netflix was putting shit out on the streets. I'm talking about where you had to be home at 4 p.m. on the dot, nigga, sitting in front of the fucking TV. You had to catch Toonami. You know, for some of you young niggas that don't know, we didn't have it sweet like y'all, where you can just find a new series, and stream something straight through. If you were left on a cliffhanger, bro, you had to wait at least 24 hours to see what the fuck happened, bro. Them DBZ days back in the day.
Well, you had to ask your little brother. You left your little brother sitting on top of the TV, and when you came back home, he had to give you the rundown of everything that happened. Even though his shit was going to be terrible, and it was going to be paraphrased. Because so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that, so-and-so did this. But, you know, you're going to miss a whole lot, but you're going to get the gist of it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, bro. Think as far back as you can remember, bro. What was your first experience with anime, bro?
My first experience with anime, I'll have to say, this show called Heavy Metal. It wasn't necessarily a show. I believe it was a movie.
Okay.
Came out in the late 80s. It was kind of an anthology though, because it was 3 different stories, but it was heavily animated and it was grungy as hell. It had a whole lot of realism to it, and then I never saw anything animated, but also adult at the same time. Everything that I saw up to that point that was animated was always like
regular cartoons. Yeah, the basic ass shit we accustomed to here in the States. You already know, bro. Shit was definitely PG-13.
Yeah.
We weren't seeing niggas really throw hands, you know,
at all.
Flex pipes and nothing crazy like that, bro. Shit was definitely catered to young, molding minds. So they kind of censored it, spoon-fed it to us. I think on the flip side, man, the earliest memory had to be Toonami for me. That holds a special place into a lot of our hearts. If you're 30 and over, you can relate as well, bro. Seeing Goku throw hands. I remember that very first experience where you see Piccolo put Goku's holy brother Raditz. No, Goku was older than him, bro. He shot that special through his chest, and I'm like, I never seen anything where the main character just gets axed like that,
die,
bro.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, what the fuck y'all?
I wouldn't expect him to die, only because main character in anything, if he dies, the show be over. Everybody jokes about that, like, okay, you see a main character get into some shit when he's in the show or whatever, and you're like, he's gonna make it to the other side, because if he dies right now, the show is over. But no, they got fucking Donut. He got the ace before Ace. So, yeah, it was foreshadowing One Piece. Oda probably wrote that scene.
Yeah, bro, sitting there with the CTC, bro, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and sitting there like, well, what we finna do now? What the fuck is so crazy? Yeah, man, yeah. So, that definitely brings back memories, man. So, I think we can call that one of the GOATs that really got everybody started in the age group. Another one that you wanted to bring up, man, one of your personal favorites, man. I gotta let you just ramble about this one, bro. That Yu, man.
Oh yeah. When Yu first came out, listen, man, it wasn't even like, it wasn't conventional at all, because it was a teenager, and you expect teenagers going to school doing things normally to be fucking handling their business like homework. Normal homework, PE, dealing with your teachers, your mom at home, whatever the fuck. No, this nigga was fighting demons and goddamn and grown ass men. Before even the demons came into play, he was going to war with grown ass men. So once I started seeing him folding people twice his age, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it some attention because I was at the point in my life where I wanted to fold niggas twice my age. So
real shit.
We're gonna get into this, but once I saw the first episode, I think it was another one. The main character dies.
Yeah.
Main character fucking died. So once he dies, I was like, all right, man, where's this gonna go? Because this show can't be over now.
Exactly.
Fuck no. It takes a whole different turn. Then the spiritual stuff gets put into play, and then it's like Botan's the Grim Reaper. Then you got King Yama, who's also in Dragon Ball as well.
Yeah.
But once all that stuff got tied into it, I was like, bro, this is the one for me. Yeah. And they had like the ancient Chinese fucking artifacts, like the Forlorn Hope and the Yata Mirror, which is also in Naruto. Not Sasuke. Itachi uses the Yata Mirror, but the Yata Mirror is supposed to be like an ancient fucking Japanese weapon or something like that. And then the sword as well. I forget where the sword also shows up, but it's in Japanese folklore.
Niggas gonna hate me for this one. This gonna be an outtake. Nigga, I completely fell off the planet Earth when it comes to Naruto, bro.
Oh,
I don't know what the fuck happened. Like I just stopped. Like,
because it's one of them ones where it's like you have to be hundreds of episodes in to understand what the fuck is going on. And then if you're not 100 or so episodes in, you have to be at least on the internet checking shit out, like meme wise, because you can understand a lot meme wise, like Jiraiya's death, fucking Naruto learning the goddamn.
Come on, son. Come on, man. I might want to catch back up on that. Damn.
Nah, you don't want to do that because it's a mini One Piece. One Piece is 1,000
plus.
I think 1,200 at this point now, so it's like 500-600. I think.
But to my defense, I caught up on One Piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's keep it 100 though. When I caught up on One Piece, this is a weird thing too. This is a weird take. I started at like 400. It's one of those ones where niggas was telling me, yo, it don't get good to a certain part, and that you can start around 400 and still be concurrent with the story or whatever. So I started in the 4s.
I'll give you that.
Thank you.
But at the same time, there's a whole lot that goes on in the beginning. So One Piece is like, this happens, then this caused this, then this caused that, and that caused this. But it also affects different people. So even when they go to different islands, they don't all go off on one adventure together. Like these people over here, like there's so many different things that gotta go on. That's why there's so many goddamn episodes, because 1,000 episodes thing. If you stretch it, and you think like 1,000 episodes, this arc takes 20, this arc takes 50, this arc takes 80, but as time went on, it became more. So Whole Cake Island, when they got there, that arc, that's when the arc started taking years.
Yeah.
Wano, when they got to Wano, that arc took 4 years, real time.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
It's intense to think about, bro. Like, we're literally growing up. By the time this nigga finishes this shit up, bro, we might be 45, 50.
I think a lot of people have passed. Actually, I know some people have passed that were watching One Piece that will never get to finish that shit. It'll be a wild ride, only because there's so many theories that can be birthed from all the shit that goes on. It's not even necessarily like, okay, we watching this and then this is gonna lead to this and this is the end of the story.
Yeah.
Hell no, nigga. Each one of them little stories takes on its own life.
He said that he already wrote the ending already. So regardless, God forbid, if we lose him, I think it's out there already. Not necessarily ended, but somewhere in his files or something like that, he's got this shit wrapped up.
He says that, but at the same time, it's left up to
I don't say speculation.
I don't want to say no, not speculation. Okay, so he said if anyone guesses what goes on in the story, because there is 101 fucking YouTube pages that are like talking about
dedicated to this shit.
Yeah, YouTube theories, this and that, One Piece,
live for this shit.
Grand reveal, whatever the hell, foreshadowing. But when it comes to him talking about the ending, he said that if anyone guesses, he has something to sub it out with.
You gonna switch it up?
Yeah, so it's not like he's gonna be like, okay, this is the ending, whatever, we're gonna put it out there. Even if I pass, y'all can still make it. No, the story is evolving. So even as the shit's going on, he can be like, okay, well, this is a wild theory that's going on online, so we're gonna sub this out with this and switch it to keep the story fresh. Just like I guess when they adapt comic book shit to TV.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, The Walking Dead had so many different pieces to it, but at the same time, when they made the show, they cut this part, added that character, cut this part, because Daryl Dixon wasn't even a part of the comics, nor was there was another character that they added for the show, but I know Daryl for sure was not a part of the comics at all. They had to add it to keep the story fresh, which is mandatory because a lot of y'all, where my hug at niggas be in the inbox. I don't understand how some of these people can be literally just drawing pictures. They're drawing pictures and telling stories, and these niggas' health is failing because every time they open the door, there is somebody talking about, can he beat Goku though? If not that,
coming from
it's not that power scaling, because power scaling is the most annoying thing ever in fucking anime, because people will get into large debates about who can beat who. And I saw one time online somebody doing this shit, but they were going based on the manga panel. You cannot go based on a manga panel to show scaling for somebody's power. If you are going to be like, okay, well, I see an inch and a half, and judging by the distance and blah, 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 the destruction had to be.
Who has that?
Nobody's drawing the shit that accurate, bro. No, it's not going to be.
The greatest debate is Saitama Goku. Who you got then?
Saitama Goku? The only reason I would give it to Goku because okay, Saitama is planetary, right?
Yeah.
He can destroy the planet if he chooses. But Goku is, they say, solar system level, like. But the one thing that doesn't make sense to me, because he can destroy like a universe on his own. But what doesn't make sense to me is that all the battles, right, are taking place on Earth.
Yeah.
If not on Earth, on some other planet. But the planets are not indestructible at all. So if we're using power, if I have an atom bomb and you have an atom bomb,
right,
power level,
bomb for bomb,
bomb for bomb, we're on a goddamn planet that will succumb to said atom bomb. How are we fighting each other? And even if we are fighting each other, how much of our power are we using before we start affecting what's around?
Some shit out, nigga. We talking about tidal waves.
It makes sense, bro. It don't make sense, but I'll still watch anyway. Yeah,
it just is what it is, man. Sometimes you can't really argue with the logic, man. You just gotta enjoy the ride, bro.
Yeah,
I definitely enjoy the debates, though. It's always good, lighthearted fun, man. Another thing I did want to talk about, man, is the current state of the culture, man. Me and you have been out in the streets really enjoying life with this shit, man. We hit BlurCon. It's been a couple raves in the city, man. It's definitely a good time to be a person of color.
Yeah.
Nerding. You know,
definitely changed. Definitely.
Black nerds are being embraced to the fullest, bro. I love it. You remember how the shit was
10 years ago?
Black sheep.
10, 15 years ago, nigga? No. Actually, I can't go. We can go farther than that. We can go fucking
years back, bro.
1990s. We can go 1990s, nigga. There was no anime nerd, and you were just, doing your thing, and people just let you be. Fuck no. You had to be a weird guy. You had to be into some shit.
Outcast, all of that.
One thing I can't stand though is when people talk about the Naruto running.
Hold on, wait.
It's not Naruto, bro. I've been seeing this shit for decades before Naruto.
I got a real fucked up story. Don't judge me, y'all. Y'all better not say shit to me out there, because fuck all of y'all first and foremost. But I definitely hit the Naruto run away from a bully, bro. This had to be elementary school, bro. I used to live in this neighborhood we just call it the Hills for reference, right? Big steep hills going up and down that motherfucking man. Homeboy had one of my best friends' corner, man. He had his fucking PlayStation controller, bro. And if y'all know anything, man, back in elementary school towards the end of the school year, bro, they used to let us bring in games and everything. They used to roll the fucking TVs
real
in.
life, yeah.
Yeah, they used to roll the TVs in. We'll sit there and game. And I remember we were all walking home and they got into it, man. He took his fucking controller and threw that bitch in the trash. And my friend looked at me, I looked at him, I said, sorry, bro, that nigga like 160 pounds, bro. I'm malnourished in the motherfucker. You know, yo. Hands behind my back, bro. You can probably see a trail of dust running behind me, bro. That's one of my biggest regrets. I said, damn, I left my man in the motherfucking dust. But I shit you not, bro.
Ass the elbows,
I shit you the fuck not, bro. My running speed increased tenfold, bro.
But does that actually make you more agile? We need to do some research, bro. There's no way that they representing this shit in all these fucking shows and people actually doing this shit in real life.
Look, we're gonna have to find Shakari Richardson, Speed, line all them niggas up on some track and field type shit, bro. We gonna need the Mythbusters too in this bitch.
We gonna have a perfect form.
Yeah, we just gonna have to test this shit out, bro. Do you get a little bit of milliseconds shaved off your time when you run like that, or what? I seen one video, bro. A man I think it was on a motorcycle or some shit, man. It had to be overseas somewhere, and to decrease drag, bro, this motherfucker gets up on the bike and he just puts his legs forward behind him and rides the motherfucking bike down there like that.
Okay. I think I've seen that before. Yeah,
that shit was crazy. So I mean, you know, this shit.
So there gotta be some science to it. There gotta be
some science, man. Yo, we was talking about the culture, man. How you feeling about everything right now, bro?
Me myself, I feel like the way the world is transitioning from not being able to do what the fuck you want to do and people judging and all this other shit. Yeah. The internet has helped a lot with that, because let's be for real, like it was so hard to find people that was into the shit that you were into back then. Because if you didn't stop and start a conversation, then that connection was just missed. So in order for you to, you know, actually have some people that are in your space, either it was school, you know, because you could talk to people and shit like that. But once you became an adult and you left school and fucking real life hit you, it was real hard to connect with one another. But with this internet shit, this social media stuff, man, like we can really connect with one another on a different level when it comes to creating and doing shit like this podcasting or getting together and fucking watching anime or actually doing like the video game shit. I remember back in the day, if you didn't know nobody that played the game you played, there was no online. You know, you don't play that bitch by yourself.
All facts.
So,
all facts, bro.
Online play also helped a lot with that. A lot of the things that you can do now, like they're fairly new. I'll give it to a lot of these content places like Kick and, you know, Twitch and all these other places, because they give people platforms to do these kind of things. But back in the day, there was no platform. So I feel like the society for anime watchers and cosplayers and shit like that is evolving at a rapid rate. So
and this shit is lit, bro.
It's like, the best time.
100%, bro.
It's the best time
to be alive. It's nothing like organizing one of these raves, bro, and it turns into a full-fledged cosplay fucking party, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm talking about in the middle of fucking April, being able to pull up to a bar. We got the whole damn thing reserved, man. I've been to a couple. I usually dress as Zenetsu right now. That's my only cosplay. So if you see me outside with that shit, man, I'll buy you a drink, man.
Yeah.
And to go there, party, and not have to worry about any fucking bullshit, any pump faking, or any just perpetrating from lanes who don't understand the culture or want to shun us and stuff like that, man, is great. It's fucking great. You can have a good time, you can drink, you can party, you can talk about your favorite animes, man. You can role play in that bitch.
Yeah, if you want to.
Great fucking people, bro. Like, for real. So this shit is great. I think this shit is lit. Anything else you want to touch on about the culture, bro? Anything you've been seeing in the streets?
For me, myself, I was seeing a lot of different people get into this anime community space, but I don't want it to be like bunch of YNs getting to it. Because when I went to the con last time, I went to Blur Con, bro, it was a bunch of, it was some nonsense. It's still a good time, though.
Always.
But yeah, I don't want it to become like, oh, this is their con and they gonna act fool.
They pulling up in the feisties.
Yeah,
like,
man,
what you dressed as? Hey, bro. They walking through the bed like this. When you walk into that
Nigga, Chief Keef Circle 2008, nigga.
That bitch, they always tell you like, hey man, you can always just check your prop weapons in and here this YN come in, nigga. This ain't no prop. It's like so I'm just talking about one. It's like, nigga, what the fuck? We need more spaces for us, you know, POCs to just have a good time without having to worry about the bullshit, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I love this shit though. I love this shit, man.
Yeah, but in the culture, we could definitely be communicating, getting together a little more. I don't like how when I went to the con, it's still a bunch of people acting like we not in here on the same shit and we not both dressed like fucking fairies, nigga. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You can't be tough with a donkey tail and some dumb shit pinned to the
Yeah, exactly. Come on, bro. We all here on the same thing, bro. Like, let's get to know each other.
Imagine getting pressed by a nigga in a fucking dress and some fucking leggings. It's like, bro, you're cosplaying Sailor Moon. I'm not.
Not that there's any problem with that. But at the same time, bro, we all hear the same thing, bro.
Bro, your thighs are out right now, bro, and I'm mad uncomfortable. We're not taking it there, bro. We're not taking it anywhere.
Yeah,
bro.
man, come on, bro.
I'm not doing that, man.
Yeah,
Get
so
the wrestling
the
with
tough
some
guy
buttons,
stuff,
bro.
man. You gotta stop, bro. We all here for a good time.
Yes, for sure, man.
Yeah.
So, any animes that you've been looking forward to lately, bro? Anything dropping?
What I'm watching right now is Rurouni Kenshin. They brought it back.
Remake.
They did another remake. A second remake.
Hold on, bro, because Rurouni Kenshin is one of my favorites. You know, we grew up off that shit.
Yeah.
How many times are we gonna see the same story? Because I started a bitch on Netflix, and I stopped the bitch.
The new one?
Yeah, the new one. I stopped that bitch because I'm like, this is the shit that I seen way back when. I don't even see it again, just with better artists.
The only reason I started watching it again was because I wanted to see the fights animated. Certain ones like him versus Shishio, him and the one dude that had like the sword. He had a sword that he could literally wrap around him and shit. It was like paper thin and he could fucking. And I was like, with this new age animation, this shit gonna look super tight. Yeah, but
they not about to bring us like. What's my
slight parts of the story are different. It's not the same thing all the way through. It's only slight changes, maybe a couple words here, a couple words there.
I'm talking about the animation quality. Is it going to be up there with like some Demon Slayer type shit?
Fight wise, no. I don't think the budget for that anime is going to be that big. But at the same time, it's still good though because it gives you more to the imagination. Remember back in the one in the 80s, like he would call out his special move and then it would just be a bunch of letters like blah 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 flashing the screen and shit, and then and then the person's in the air flipping it, you know. But now it's like they actually show you the whole thing all the way through. They put more effort into it. So yeah, I started watching it again.
Then niggas running out of the fucking budget during the fight, and they all got.
Oh my god!
I was about to make this happen.
And then next thing you know, people turn to stick figures for a couple seconds.
Yeah. Like, they were showing that shit with Naruto when you would pause the shit during certain sections and you would look and you'd be like, who the fuck dropped the ball on this shit?
Yeah. But I never realized though, when it comes to making those type of, you know, fight scenes and shit like that, animes cost millions. Like per episode. We're not even talking about full thing. I'm talking about per episode.
And we're talking about niggas most likely having to sleep in those fucking studios.
Yeah,
I think I seen a documentary way back about the lifestyle.
Once you in
that bitch, you pretty much kiss your family goodbye. They lock them doors behind you. You're talking about some, hey man, you're holding the fucking paper. Like, man, I just want to go home and see my family.
You realize 8 more pages, yeah.
They fucking FaceTime you with your kids in the background, and you don't finish this episode. That's it.
Once I started hearing about failing health behind fucking anime, I said, wow. There's no way I'm gonna have a cartoon character or a comic that I'm drawing or something like that, and I'm dying in the process of making it. A lot of these people don't sleep. A lot of people don't see their families. A lot of these people get fucked up to the point where they have health issues. They ain't sleeping right. You go to the doctor, you get some terrible ass news behind sitting up all day drawing pictures.
Felling and some wild shit. And you bring that shit to your supervisor, you slap that fucking guy.
Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. We got a deadline.
And we're over here on the States and we love this shit, but you know, shout out to all the artists out there.
Yeah.
And like, we definitely appreciate y'all for what y'all
I think overworking yourself is considered a good thing over there. So it's not like it's looked down upon like, oh my God, why are these companies destroying these people? No. When you go to work for something and you like, you know what, I'm gonna put 150% effort into it, they're like, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy thing, man.
Hard failure, 100%.
Exactly. And then when you walk out that bitch, fall right to the ground. But that's why you see all the people. I don't know if everybody sees, but I see every now and again when I watch like little stuff on what's going on in Japan and shit. You see people passed out in the street, and people will literally put like a blanket over you, and you know,
fucking blanket. Man, that's crazy because over here where I'm at, I see people pass on the street. I step over them like, they better never raise my fucking leg. You're sacrificing my red lower. Thank you for everything you do, man. Hit that fender. Shit, I'm calling my landlord right now. It's another body outside. Yeah, they raising these prices, sir.
Come get this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's a lot. I couldn't be a mangaka only because like I like life and stuff, and I couldn't have nobody hounding me about somebody's power level.
This nigga said, I enjoy life, I enjoy coochie, I enjoy good food.
Nigga. Yeah, nah, bro.
You are a slave over there.
You got no special kind of nigga.
Yeah, 100% special type of nigga, man. I did want to go back and revisit one last thing before we wrap up. Our pilot, man, shout out to us. We want to talk about the gaming culture too. That's another thing we want to visit on the podcast, man. Gaming while black. You know, I don't know if we should touch on that now.
I feel like a lot of the stuff is not existent anymore. It was back in the day. I'll say like early 2000s, 2005 to 2010.
Yeah.
Because back then you could literally enter the lobby, you could make your custom logos on the COD, them things.
Really heavy-headed culture.
Yeah, man.
Nothing reminded me I was a nigga more than a 2000.
Early 2000 COD match.
Lobby, bro. Nothing reminded me. I'm talking about the second they heard that baritone deep voice.
The second they hear the fucking nigga. Soon as they hear that smoke detector, nigga, listen.
Stop the fucking chime, bro.
Soon as they hear that shit, boy, it was a rap back then. You could get into a whole lot with COD because everybody was playing it and it was real popular at the time, but it really showed you who the fuck was around you. Not necessarily around you, but who you was playing with.
All facts, bro. That fucking hate. I'm talking about getting cussed out by grown fucking men.
Grown men, bro. It's probably my gym teacher in one of them fucking lobbies, nigga. He let me have it, nigga.
With his checks, you know what I'm saying? That shit with his checks. Hard ER. It's just like
hard ER, nigga. Chest stuck out, nigga.
Oh, you fucking got it. Hey,
with the one ear on the headset, nigga. He was in that bitch like professional.
We gonna touch on that, man. We 30 in. Yeah. So this has been the pilot. We gonna call it a wrap, man. We still ironing out the fine details with this shit, man. But our goal is to give you this weekly. Link up, do this, provide updates on the culture, funny commentary, man. I say laughter is therapy. Y'all should definitely come kick it with us, man. We gonna be going to events. We gonna be
on conventions, IRL stuff.
We gonna be outside for real, man. Showing y'all the culture firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Showing y'all niggas the culture firsthand, bro. What you wanna add?
Yeah, man. We want to get everybody included in this shit, man. I'm trying to get a a lot of people to see what we got going on in the POC space when it comes to this anime gaming culture and shit like that. It's a whole lot of us out here, but I feel like a lot of people don't have the right people connecting them. Ain't nobody got a platform to talk for real unless you make your own following. But you know that takes time and effort. Not everybody got that. So if we can do that for y'all, then we can eventually do some more shit in the future. But it's all about getting connected and everybody, you know, being on the same page and being able to enjoy this culture that they said we couldn't necessarily be a part of.
Right. Now we kicking in the door of that bitch.
Yeah.
For you talking about. Kicking in the front door of that bitch, man. We gonna call this episode 1, man. One for the records. It's in the books. It's done. We don't even got a name for this shit yet, bro. All that shit gonna come, bro.
Yeah,
all that shit gonna come, bro. One day at a time, man.
Mm.
But now, though, peace, bro. We out.